Okay, good evening mga ka-in-between and ka-TechSabado. It's Wednesday once again and we're here, of course, to interview again a leading ICT personality, local ICT person. Gusto natin silang bigyan ng espasyo or para makilala naman ng ating mga kababayan ng mga pagigiting nating mga ICT personalities. Okay? Ako po si Melvin Kalimag ng newsbites.ph. Kung napapansin niyo po, wala pa rin po ang aking sparring partner in crime na si Jing Garcia dahil nagpapalakas pa siya sa kanyang medical emergency. Yun, no, press release namin. Okay. Pero mamaya, sasamahan tayo ng isa pa nating madalas na kasama dito sa In-Between. Yan, si Edwin Salyan. Pero mamaya, lang po, medyo, alam naman si Edwin, laging late. Kaya maya-maya, nandiyan na siya. Okay, ayan na, pumapasok na ang ating mga, suki. Yan, tulad nila, Josa Matet. Ayan, nandiyan na. Shinare pa niya. Thank you, Josa. Talagang hindi mo kami niiwan. Si Josa sa radyo pa lang din sa TV5, 92.3 News FM. Ayan, madalas na yan. Maraming salamat, Josa Matet. Kaibigan din to ni Jing, si Josa Matet. Si Alvin Pingol, good evening. Sabi niya, In-Between TechSabado, mabuhay. Ay, salamat. Alvin Pingol. Yan, mga mga suki natin. Kung kayo po ay medyo nahihirapan manood sa Facebook, live din po tayo sa YouTube page ng In-Between, ng TechSabado. Punta lang po kayo ng TechSabado ng YouTube/TechSabado. Live din po doon kung kakaroon po kayo ng problema dyan sa Facebook. Kung saan kasi may quirks yung Facebook eh. Pero yung YouTube po, swabing-swabe. Okay. Sa mga nanonood, malamang nakikita nyo na yung gentleman on my, left or right? On my left. No. Pero siguro sa mga screens niyo on your right. Yan. Siya po ang ating interviewin tonight. Okay? Siya po ang CEO of a company called WAV Wave Global. Interesting po ng mga produkto ng kanyang kumpanya at ang kanyang personality. Nung uno ko siyang na-meet, hindi ko akalaing na-impress ako na ganito pala yung background nitong taong to. So, we interviewed him dun sa TechSabado nung pwede pa. And then now, sa In-Between naman. Because, he has something very interesting to share to us. Okay? Batiin ko muna ulit si Rick Valera. Yan. Good evening po. Yan. Nanonood siya via Facebook Live. Okay. Kanina sinabi ko, siya po ang guest natin, ang CEO ng Wave Global or WAV Global. Siya po si Sir Caloy Hinolan. Good evening, Sir Caloy. Oops. Nakamute ka yata, sir. Nakamute ka.
Good evening. Good evening,
Ayun!
Melvin, and to all the viewers of TechSabado In-Between.
In-Between kasi, we name this In-Between kasi usually yung guest namin, nasa pagitan namin ni Jing and ako and Jing. So, and then, this show is in between Saturdays. Ewan ko, ba't naging in between yun? But yun nga, nasa gitna siya ng week siguro, kaya in between. Okay? So, Mr. Caloy Hinolan, sir, before we go to your advocacies, your products. Alam ko maraming mapag-usapan yan, pero punta muna tayo sa iyong background. Personal, educational background. Saan ka ba nagsimula? Paano ka nagsimula? Sir, and then pero ang alam ko, isa kang Ilonggo, di ba? And
yes, sir.
So you studied ba in Ilonggo and you grew up in Iloilo or Bacolod? Is it Bacolod?
Yeah, Bacolod. So, I came from a very humble beginning. I was born, bred, raised from Bacolod. I grew up there, and I studied in Bacolod primary years at LaSalle, and then secondary, and was at a Recollect school run by the priests. We did computer science. That's basically my background. We were the first batch of in our school to actually go into the Bachelor of Computer Science, BSCS. We did all of those, the basics, the COBOL, which of course these days it's not applicable anymore.
The school you're referring to, LaSalle, is University of St. LaSalle. Is that the school?
Yes, it wasn't a university before that, but now it's a university. Yes.
Okay. And then, doon ka nag-elementary and high school?
Elementary, but high school was in University of Recollect School, run by priests.
Akala ko dun sa yun, sa Cebu yun? Yung San Jose Recollect.
Meron university it was actually the first university in Bacolod.
Okay.
And then LaSalle followed suit, no?
You were the first batch of computer science graduates of that school.
Yeah, first batch of computer science students. That was way back in the 80s.
Ayaw mo sabihin yung year.
That was yes, way back in the 80s, and then after that, of course, I went into radio. Yes.
Wow.
I went into radio as a broadcaster, as a DJ.
Wow.
For a couple of years. I think it was more than a decade. And then after that, I migrated to Manila, landed in MACKIE, where that's the whole story, or that's where we started the WAV way back 2003, and putting together computer science and music. We created the service of providing customized music to stores. And
Sir, dali lang. Introduce ko lang ang ating co-host, the late Edwin Salian.
Hi,
Hello, Edwin. Hello, Edwin.
I think it's on mute.
Nakamute ba siya? Edwin?
Edwin is on
Hello,
mute.
hello. Ayan, okay na.
There
Ayun,
you go.
ayun. Yes, si Edwin po is the
How
music
are you,
editor.
Yes.
Hinolan.
How are you, Mr. Carlos Hinolan?
Well, very well. Pleasure to meet you, sir.
Ngayon pala kayo nag-meet, Sir Caloy, ni Edwin.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Si Edwin is the contemporary sa Jingle Magazine, but he's also a tech reporter. And now he's back in the music space. He's the music editor. Tama ba, Edwin?
I'm the section editor for Soundstrip, the weekly music section of Business Mirror.
Oh, wow.
And you also write for NME, right?
Yes, I'm also a contributing writer for NME Asia.
Yes. Ayun, so very
medyo
interesting to.
Na-intriga ako sa topic natin for tonight.
Oo, kasi yung kung hindi mo napakinggan, Edwin, kasi si Caloy is ang background niya computer science, okay?
Yes.
Pero
nabanggit nga niya.
sabi niya, nag-DJ siya for around 10 years. Kaya medyo maganda yung boses niya kaysa sa atin. Medyo
Oo nga, pang radyo pang voice over
Oo. Tapos, he went from Bacolod, he went to Manila. Then he set up a music technology business called WAV Global. Kaya yun ang binabanggit niya ngayon. Can you expound on this, Caloy? How did you came up putting up this type of company? May music background ka ba? Bakit yun ang naisip mo?
Well, yes. When I was a boy.
DJ ka nga pala.
Oh, well, aside from but the whole DJ thing, I think, came about that when I was small. I was taught voice lesson. My mom used to sing a lot. Medyo operatic.
May music, talaga kayo?
Yes. So I was taught how to sing at a very early age. Given voice lessons, and in school, I was always the guy they get to sing in front of the stage. So music was really ingrained in me at a very early age. And of course, dads would always listen to the Frank Sinatras, the Nat King Coles. I would always hear music almost every day sa bahay. And so that was embedded in me. Eventually, a radio station was looking for talents to help them. So I applied looking for a job, and tuloy-tuloy siya, from DJ to production director to station manager, and eventually I became a voice over for a big network for like 45 AM and FM stations, and that's how I got into Manila. Yeah, that's how I got into Manila, because the pool of talents, the ones that they think can help the network, they place in MACKIE.
Okay.
Yes, and so
you don't want to reveal the name of that company?
it was actually Star FM.
Okay.
Bongo and
ABS-CBN.
Star. No.
That's iba pala yun.
Iba.
Bombo Radio, Manila,
yes.
Manila Broadcasting.
Manila Broad. So I've been with a couple of networks, like Manila Broadcasting was one of them.
Okay.
So medyo marami-rami yun, no? But
Okay.
the last gig was network was in Makati. And eventually I still have that itch to be an entrepreneur. And so after deciding to go into entrepreneurship, we realized that all of these malls and fast food chains don't have good music. It's dead air. During nung panahon na yun, no?
Yes.
The early 2000s, it was a good time, I think, because radio was quite strong, but nothing was happening inside the stores. And so we saw that opportunity, and we were lucky to have offered the service to the Jollibee Group. And that was the first account. And till today, no, we're still with them. That partnership has I think you can say it stood the test of time. Where we provide we provide customized music with message and ads for the stores. No?
What makes it unique kumpara dun sa mga, let's say, mga pipe-in music that we see in restaurants, o kaya
Yes.
yung mga kunyari magpapatugtog, lagi ka lang ng speaker.
Right.
Actually,
Yes.
Actually, kasamang Melvin, before restaurants, yung pipe-in music, nagsimula yan sa elevator. Kaya nga kung tawagin na elevator music.
Ganun ba?
Oo, mabuti pa yung elevator nung araw. Pag sakay mo, may
music.
background music. Oo. Pero yung restaurants, well, quite later to. So itong ginagawa ni Carlos was, yung sinimula niya sa Jollibee was pretty innovative na di ba Carlos?
Yeah, what made it stand out and basically profitable, Caloy?
I think it was the fact that customers, I mean the brands or these businesses want to entertain their customers and inform them while they are inside, and that they need to create a specific experience that is very positive for their customers. For one, you have to take out the profanity in the playlist, which means it needs to be wholesome. There are
sanitized.
Yes, that's one. And they cannot afford to air if they're listening to an ordinary FM station. I'm not putting any FM station down. And if you're inside your store, you might be able to hear some ads of your competitor, right? So that's one thing that they are also avoiding, right? So
Oo nga, no?
everything is really customized and programmed according to their business, that it should be able to help the business grow. So I think that's one thing that we were able to do, and now it is quite become so powerful that now it is app driven. Dati dumaan kami sa CDs, and then we went through the computers, PCs now, and then we created embedded systems. And now that the pandemic is, we've made it more customized to the point that it's now contactless and safe. It's basically you just download the app on your phone and then play it back in the store, and then you can control via a browser-based UI. So medyo naging high-tech na siya.
Nasa cloud na.
Nasa cloud. Cloud na siya, no? Parang it's kind of like Spotify, but the difference is you can air your own ads in that, no? Unlike of course Spotify only airs music, and allows you to discover music. Ito, pati patalastas mo, pati COVID messages mo to remind people that they should be distancing, social distancing, and all of that. Magagawa mo na yon.
Customized to your specific requirements.
Yes. The challenge kasi dati pag if there's a machine, when you provide support, when the pandemic came about, it's even so hard to go from Makati to, let's say, the next, because you have to pass by some, to quarantine and all of that sa kabilang bayan, no? But with everything online, it's so convenient even for the stores.
Yeah. Pero
Carlos,
what about yes, go Edwin.
Sige. Carlos, if you may have noticed, no, since matagal ka ng music fan, no, progress and technology has over the years changed the way we listen to appreciate music, di ba?
Yes.
I don't know, kinabot pa yung plaka,
Yeah.
and then
Yes.
and then cassette, and then
Yes.
CDs.
Yes.
And then nagsimula na yung mga digital na MP3s.
Yes.
And then eto na, streaming na tayo, no?
Yes.
How has this affected your business?
Not much, I think, because human beings will always love music. It's just the format, the way it was delivered. So you're right. When I was a little boy, I used to do cassettes. I used to listen cassettes. I remembered my dad was so angry at me because I was so binuksan ko yung cassette namin sa sobra kong
Excited.
Sobra kong interesado what's happening, and hindi ko na maibalik. hindi ko ma-assemble balik. No? So,
dinisassemble mo. Oo.
Galit na galit, di ba? So,
akala ko yung cassette tape, ni-rewind mo ng lapis o ng ballpen.
So galit na galit siya. So but then again, later on sa radio station we were using records. Talagang plaka, no, vinyl. And then dumaan kami sa D80. That's
D80, inabot din ni Mr. Jing Garcia. Paborito niyang format yan, pare.
Yeah, DAT, and then CD. Then the CD became recordable, where you can burn it. Then it became MP3, right? And now there's ang dami ng dinaanang format. May OGG, which is open source. And then marami pa na ngayon maliit na masyado yung file that it allows us to actually really play with it. In fact,
so lahat yan nag-adjust kayo. You adapted those formats.
Yes. Yeah, we have to. We from computers to creating our own embedded system. Then we said, okay, embedded. Then now we're doing app. It has totally changed. But at the end of the day, it's still about music, and people still love music. Stores you can't imagine a store without music. Sa panahon ngayon, ito na yung sitwasyon, and you go to a store, it's wala pang music. You can't imagine that, right? It dapat masaya din yung store, di ba? So and that basically is the premise of why we exist.
Sir Caloy, di ba I remember meron kayong kit, sound kit that you provide to your clients or customers, no? But with the pandemic now, do you still have that, or can the customers themselves put up their own wirings or kit?
So a lot of things have really forced us to pivot.
Yeah.
This whole pandemic has forced companies to pivot. And before I remembered when we gave away that kit. That was before the pandemic, right?
Yes.
Right? Now, with the pandemic, wala nang kit.
Oh.
You can go to Google Play and download the app. We give you access, your password, then you use it. That's how it works now. You can now play it on your phone or your tablet, and you can even connect your tablet to the Bluetooth speaker that we can install in your store. So everything's wireless and contactless these days. Totally umiba na and even we made it easier for people where when they log in, they can just choose their channels. Ready na siya, no? Depende kung anong industriya ka, may be food or hospitality, you can just choose. And that's basically it.
So sir, di bumaba yung cost of entry for your clients? Kasi wala na silang kailangan bilhin.
Yeah,
na kit.
Yeah, so even the prices for the subscription has been lowered because there's no need for a hardware. Everything's now software driven, right? That's basically how we distribute and we provide music and their ads, no? But we have some clients like for example Mercury Drug, no? Ang lahat ng Mercury Drug, iisa yung tunog niyan. And for us to be able to execute that, there is a special device inside.
Okay.
That way, in the same way that we provide the service for the trains in Indonesia, there is a special device for that. So for retail stores, for food, for some of the stores that want total convenience, there's the app based. But there are institutions or enterprises who cannot operate that way. So Mercury Drug operates 24/7. Kahit Kwaresma, I mean, tuloy yun. And so we have placed specific industrial devices sa lahat ng stores na yan to be able to play yung Mercury Drug radio nila.
Oo nga, narinig ko nga lagi yung Mercury Drug radio, no? Para silang may exclusive na radio station doon sa store nila.
Mercury Drug Radio. Mga ganun, di ba? Tapos,
Mercury Drug Radio, di ba?
Kulit nga. Okay nga. Kaya kilado pala yun. Kila Caloy pala yun, no? So,
ikaw pala nagbo-voice nun, no, Caloy? Hindi?
Mga colleagues namin. Marami naman. Marami naman.
Okay.
Maraming magagaling dyan dito.
Okay.
Hindi, siya yung CEO eh. So, dati siguro siya nung simula sila. Pero hindi lang ngayon.
It sounds familiar. Mercury Drug Radio.
Oo nga. Pero so, Sir Caloy, pwede yung totally walang kit, pero there are instances that yung mga clients would require, pwede rin na may you will install the kit doon sa kanilang mga
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Edwin, alam mo ba this venture of Mr. Hinolan was so successful, they even expanded in the US. Tama ba, sir?
Yeah, we did the US. We're also present in Indonesia. We're now venturing into Thailand with a partner. We're currently we're scaling in ways as much as we can. We do believe na all of these can be scaled. No, dahil software na lang. I mean, the truth is the Waveflow app is available globally. So ibig sabihin, when people in Ukraine or in India open the app at Google, they can download the app, which means that as long as it's online, ang telepono or the tablet, we can provide the service.
How do you curate pala the music that you select for certain establishments, or do you come up with sometimes na original music nyo yung narinig ng tao, like for example papasok mo sa Jollibee?
There are two types of two types of may group yan, no, of music. One would be license, wherein the licensed music belong to ASCAP, BMI, CSAC, which has signed a reciprocal agreement with PhilSCAP. So ito yung mga popular songs from any Billboard top hits. So that belongs to PhilSCAP. No? And when you play that, you need to deal with performance licenses.
I see.
But there's also a group basically that does not belong to the catalog of PhilSCAP, which we call Wave proprietary music. So either it really depends on the brand or the business, which sound or which direction do they want to follow or go to. So whatever the client's wish is, we provide. So we basically don't dictate kung ano yung pakiramdam ng kliyente na ito yung tunog namin. We follow that because basically sila negosyo nila yan eh.
Pero for most corporate clients, I can imagine they would prepare something like yung mga smooth jazz, yung mga easy listening.
Well, yes, there are, the hospitality, some of the retail stores, malls, it really depends. Depende din kasi yung how they perceive their brand or what's the brand story and what is the brand sound, right? So basically, typically yung mga 5-star hotels na yan would as you mentioned, Sean, lounge or jazz music.
Although sa Mercury Drug, medyo popular tunes yung mga medyo alam ng masa, minsan may rinig mo.
Yes, because I think the pharmacists when they do 24/7, they don't want to feel sleepy. And of course the store also want to sound positive. When somebody has a headache, going there wanting to buy medicine, you want to feel relaxed and positive as well.
Okay.
Alam mo, Edwin, sobrang low profile ito ni Sir Caloy. Pero the company, WAV Global, is actually a multinational uh, Filipino-owned company. Di ba? So, sobrang low profile and low key. But, very Pinoy pride, di ba? Ayun. Pero that's not all, Edwin. Alam mo ba kung bakit? Dahil si Sir Caloy is basically kasi may tech background siya, di ba? Nung nagkaroon ng pandemya, he again sort of adapted para i-launch yung isang company, yung isang offering niya. Parang ito naman app-based din siya pero control yung to fight COVID-19. Yung tawag nila dito yung WAV disinfect, di ba, sir? You launched this late last year, right?
Yes. What happened actually was that before the pandemic had happened, we were dealing already with ozone. We have this division in the company that also not only customizes sound but also customizes scent. So casinos, hotels and retail stores. So when you go to a Power Mac, you smell that the store really smells good, right? Like
yes.
really smells good. That's basically us designing something for the Mac. But in the hotels, there are issues sometimes of bad smell, right? Like minsan may nag-iwan ng alimango sa refrigerator for whatever reason. Tas nangamoy for whatever. Tatawag, sir, can you please help us? So we figured out a way how to get rid of that smell, and lo and behold, we were able to do that using ozone. So we were playing with ozone for quite some time, a long time ago, and little did we realize actually that ozone gets rid of the smell by going to the root, which is killing the bacteria.
Okay.
Killing microorganisms, and the research actually shows that fungi and bacteria are harder to kill than COVID-19 na virus. Dahil COVID-19 is a protein-based virus, exposed siya versus bacteria. And so when we tested it, ozone does not only disinfect it, but it actually breaks from the spike, the protein, to the RNA. Hanggang sa kalalim-laliman, kaya niyang biyakin yon. And we were glad that it can do that. And so we said, okay, now we have something that we can use against the pandemic. But we need to do this in a scientific way. So a specific amount kasi nung ozone na yan works. And so we need to measure that. So that's why we had the app, no? So ang app na yan, our technical people will put the details, the size of the room na kailangan niyang i-disinfect on the app, and then the device will cleanse the room using ozone. So we're proud to say that it's a patented system that is Filipino built. We basically locked the patent globally, right? So we locked the patent of that globally by placing applying that in Geneva. But the patent in the Philippines is secured. And currently, it's now the most widely used system for hospitals and clinics. We're proud to say that, and we're still using that. We're fighting COVID with it. So tuloy-tuloy kami, no? We wanna help as much as we can with this technology of ours.
Yeah, I remember writing a story about it in News Bites. Basically, the way you explained it is that yung tawag dito yung ozone ay yung ozone machine that you're selling breaks down yung oxygen.
Tama.
And transforms it into ozone or O3. Oo.
A disinfectant, tama. So, an ordinary oxygen which has
O2.
O2, when it passes through electricity or a corona charge, we end up adding one more. So it becomes O3. And O3 or ozone is very reactive to almost anything, including viruses. And it's more potent than bleach or chlorine. In fact, it's actually the highest, according to WHO, it's the highest form of disinfection. Mas mabilis siya versus chlorine. And the good thing is, after the disinfection, it just goes back to oxygen. After you deploy it on site, bumabalik lang siya into oxygen. So I think that's the safest thing.
Pero gusto kong linawin, Sir Caloy, no? Sorry, nasabi ko kanina, you sell the machines. You don't sell the machines, right? You just parang offer the service to
Currently, yes. We disinfect places using our technology, but we are coming up with a model that we're allowing people to actually buy it and sell it. So mas maraming more people will benefit from it because when one condo unit has somebody positive, it's a big headache. So I think biosecurity is going to be part of what we do from now on, and we need to be protected, right? So and ito kasi wala kang chemical na gagamitin dito o liquid eh. The moment you have that device, paulit-ulit mo na magagamit yun for the next maybe 5 years. So it's actually very efficient. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So currently, this is sabi mo the most widespread type of disinfectant in hospitals.
Widely used.
Widely
and
used.
Clinics. Yes.
Clinics. So
yeah.
Okay. And what's next for this technology aside from the fact that you're going to create parang in the devices so that people can buy?
Yes, we're creating, we're opening it to the public. Basically, we're mass producing it so that people can get hold of it with the technology. It's basically mobile app driven. You just key in the size of the room of your place, and it will do the rest of the job for you. Also, we're launching the same technology in the US.
Wow!
Yes, we're launching the same technology in the US. Called about 30 days from now. We're looking. In fact, after this talk, I'm meeting with the US
meron tayong advance news, breaking news from Sir Caloy himself regarding yung expansion sa US.
Tama.
Wow. That's a great news.
Yeah, so this technology, it's going to be used in a mailbox. Alam mo, Edwin and Melvin in the US.
Yes.
Halos lahat ng bahay may mailboxes no? And I think it's also applicable to us here. It's basically a mailbox na malaki. It's a parcel box that you can place all of the delivered parcels, but at the same time, food na dineliver sa'yo, you place that in the box and the box will disinfect it before it enters your house, which means goodbye to alcohol. You don't have to do anything at all. It will disinfect thoroughly, better than UV. No, the issue with UV is that the lamp is here, but sa ilalim nun, paano? This ozone is basically gas that engulfs the whole parcel sa loob, and mali yun, no? So in fact, that's what we already have here, no, sa bahay. Everything that goes through it is placed in a prototype box and we disinfect it, no? So the whole idea is like that. It's called Box 03. It's going to be launched in the US. In fact, the patent is Filipino made. It's going to be Filipino manufactured, Filipino patent.
And do you have a partner
for this? So si WAV Global yung manufacturer nito for a US entity. For a US entity in Florida.
Oh,
and
okay.
They're distributing that all over North America.
So they'll be selling it on their sariling brand nila, or it will indicate WAV Global?
So no, the name of the product is Box 03.
Box 03, okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
powered by technology by WAV. Yeah.
Wow. Grabe. Dati yung sound what do you call your WAV Global, yung yung sound, how do you call it? Wave flow. Dati.
Yes.
Nakapunta ka rin you were able to expand it in the US, in Indonesia, and Thailand. And then etong latest product mo is again going to the US. Wow. See, it's a Alam mo, Edwin, under heralded to si Sir Caloy, eh. Diba? How many people can say na how many people can say na, diba? Yung dalawang produkto mo na-export mo, diba? Na-expand mo sa US.
It's pretty innovative, actually.
Yes.
Yeah, we just want to solve problems, I think. And I think we really want to share and provide the technology to the whole global community, because of the situation now. There are people who did not even leave their homes that are becoming positive. So that's the big question mark. Saan dumadaan tong paano
virus?
Paano napunta yun doon? So sometimes the realization is that the viruses can stay on boxes of cardboard for like a couple of days. And also ito na naman yung WHO who said, airborne pala. Sorry, airborne pala siya. After a year, they say, it's airborne, right? So
sobrang late na.
CDC and WHO said, it's airborne. Sorry, it's airborne. And so when you cannot cleanse a place by just wiping it when it's airborne, which means that you need to disinfect even the air. And the only way, and one of the best ways to do it, is with gas, basically. Not even spraying chlorine dioxide, because it might not be able to thoroughly hit every square inch or every atom molecule in the air. No? So yun ang challenge. So we try our best to help in whatever way we can. We rack our brains and we create this technology. Matagal din namin ginawa.
To develop.
Matagal din. It's a hard process, back and forth with R&D, but that's what we love to do. We're excited to launch it in the US, in fact.
Wow. Edwin,
Yes.
alam mo, serial entrepreneur talaga to si Mr. Hinolan eh. Kasi meron pa siyang, kasi meron siyang meron din siyang, alam ko kung gusto niyo pag-usapan to, pero meron din siyang food delivery business. Oo. Sir Caloy, when did it start? And then what made you decide to put up this type of business?
It's actually in kind of like transition right now because there are a lot of realizations and pivots that we are currently doing with this platform. We started working on this way before the pandemic happened.
Before the pandemic pa pala.
Yeah, before pa. That's why we were able to launch it. No? And we're currently it's currently called Food Trip. It's mostly available in the CBD of Makati, BGC, Quezon City. And we're fine-tuning a lot of things with it. We're actually we won't be able to reveal what's the next steps for that, but we will let you guys know. We're doing something with that platform because e-commerce is quite very important. You know.
So may mobile app din to for Android and iPhone.
Yes. Currently, it has an app on iOS, and marami siyang app, no? May para sa driver, may para sa merchants, may para sa customers. But yeah, marami kaming now that we have that, we finally got the sweet spot, and we're also launching that in Indonesia as well because we currently have a bit of a traffic there. Sa trains, we're doing the trains in Indonesia. We're proud to say we have like 200 million people traffic there sa trains.
Wow! Oh, wow!
Yes.
So to see Sir Caloy, knows how to take advantage of technology to expand and diversify his businesses. So he's yung pagiging techie niya nakaka-crossover din sa ibang industries. Yeah, like ito na nga, food delivery, like you mentioned.
Oo nga eh. Talagang multifaceted to si Mr. Hinolan, Edwin, kasi he's also a triathlete. Alam mo ba yun?
Diba? Talaga?
Binagit niya sa akin dati yan eh.
Well, ngayon sa bahay na lang.
Sa bahay na lang ngayon.
Sa bahay na lang.
Pero you're one of the first people to go into triathlon, di ba? Sabi mo dati, when it wasn't even popular. Di ba? Kasi a lot of people are into triathlon, di ba?
Yeah, oo. Noong 2008, wala pa yung Ironman sa Philippines. I think we were 11 Filipinos sa Singapore who did that, no? Kasama pa na, si Senator Cayetano was one of them.
Yeah.
Yes, Fred Uitengso was also one of them. So we were like 11 Filipinos. And after that, Fred brought the franchise to the Philippines, and now it's a mainstream sport. And I think that's the reason why we got gold no Southeast
Asian Games.
We got gold in triathlon because the roots and the fundamentals of the Philippines in that sport goes a long way. Matagal na eh. So imaginein mo yun, no? 2008 pa lang, and kailan yung last na, when was the last Southeast Asian Games that we garnered a lot of gold there, di ba?
Oo, sa triathlon. Sino yung girl na 1-2 combo yun eh. Gold, silver yata yun eh.
Yes,
the two pretty girls, di ba?
Yeah, si Kim.
Kim. And the other girl, yung
I remember when we
Mangroba, Kim Mangroba.
Yeah. When we used to do Subic, baby pa yan. Ngayon Ngayon dalaga na siya, tsaka na siya, gold medalist na siya.
Pero you didn't compete sa mga ganong events.
No, I only do that to compete against myself. It's mostly for, but these days it's kind of like hard to go into it with all of the pivots that we're doing. R&D the thing with R&D and technology is it will suck you in. talagang it will ask for your time, you know. That's the, but it's what we love to do, and you know, solve problems. Masaya naman kahit paano.
Sir Caloy, with so many things, you know, you doing you have WAV Global, you have the disinfectant, you have the food trip, the delivery. How do you manage these things? Diba? And how many people do you have in your company?
We're nearly 100 people kasama yung team sa Indonesia. Yes.
For a tech company, malaki na yun, ha? Di ba? Dami yun, 100 people.
But not all of them. Most of them are in operation. In terms of sa tech side, it's not really big. Maybe about 15 people in terms of the ones that code.
Yung development.
Yeah, the development, the R&D, and these people have been with us for quite some time. You know? They also went through that transition from way back then to what it is now. You know, so we all went through from, you know, using Windows to eventually doing Linux, open source, to ngayon, iba na. I mean, lalo na ngayon, it seems like there's a no-code revolution nga na nangyayari ngayon. No? But of course, at the end of the day, the no-code thing might have a hard, because, you know, it's off-the-shelf no-code, pero when you really want to customize things, you need to really code and dig deep. You know? So I think that's better pa rin yung may code. Because because if you want it to be very proprietary, you need iba pa rin yun.
Correct. Okay, we're almost run out of time. But you know, we'd like to thank Mr. Carlos Hinolan, no. Binigyan nga pa tayo ng inside track na doon sa expansion nila sa US, doon sa sa WAV disinfectant na Box 03, right? Box 03.
Yeah, Box 03. We will launch it in the Philippines. What we want to do is not only will North America benefit from it, but we've talked to the Americans to allow us to launch it here. That way, homes will be able to have firewalls in their front doors na maiwasan yung pagpasok ng mga, you know, mga groceries minsan na madapuan ng kung ano-ano, di ba? So, what's a couple of minutes of disinfecting that, right? And then you bring it home. Waiting for 3 to 4 minutes, you know, it will help.
Wow. That's very great to know, no? To hear. Edwin, meron ka ba bang question for Mr. Caloy Hinolan before we wrap up?
Well, for now, medyo masyado ako na-overwhelmed sa sa kanyang diversification, no.
Oo nga.
Looking forward na to the launch of his upcoming product here.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Carlos Caloy Hinolan. Sir, meron ka bang gusto sabihin sa mga viewers natin?
Yes.
Regarding your products and services?
Well, we to all the viewers of In Between, actually more on for their families, you know, please take care of your families, take care of yourself, and you know, these are trying times, tough times for everybody, but if, you know, tulong-tulong, if we stick together, kaya natin to, and don't forget to look
seek help from the
guy up above, no?
We acknowledge the guy from above for all the blessings that we get every single day.
We appreciate, and we would like to thank all of the viewers, kay Melvin and kay Edwin, for the privilege of everybody's time. Maraming salamat for spending time with us. We totally appreciate everybody.
Okay.
Correct. Oo. Maraming salamat, Mr. Carlos Caloy Hinolan, CEO of WAV Global. And of course, so sinabi niya, Thank you doon sa sumama sa atin sa discussion natin for tonight. For the time that they spent with us. Kanina si Josa Matet, si Alvin Pingol, si Rick Valera, si Melissa Borja Kalimag, si Ronan Prudencio, walang ating sawang taga-promote sa kanyang Facebook page, si RG Espinosa.
Yung si Melissa Borja Kalimag, hindi nagsasawang manood sa atin, makinig.
Oo, syempre. Suki natin yan. Number 1 fan natin yan. Tsaka si Ronan Prudencio, si RG Espinosa, na watching FB Live from Davao City. Yan.
Wow.
And si Mylene Crespo is also watching live from New Jersey, USA. Ay, kaibigan natin yan, si Mylene Crespo. Formerly from Dominguez Marketing. And of course, sa YouTube, si Junifer Alipaw. Good evening sa iyo, Junifer. Suki rin natin yan. Okay, maraming salamat to everyone, to Edwin. Edwin, may ka ba? Meron ka bang sasabihin to invite the viewers to read your section?
Wala naman. Always read Business Mirror daily. We come out in print, but we're also available online at businessmirror.com.ph. And, well, we always take a broader look at today's businesses. Yeah.
Wow, swabe
Yun ang aming tagline.
Okay, si Michael
One day we'll take a broader look at Sir Caloy's businesses too. Ayan.
Oo. Parang renaissance man to si Mr. Caloy. Talagang, triathlete, computer scientist, DJ, entrepreneur, artist, musician, ang dami.
Ang dami na.
Ang tindi. Talagang very may matawag dun, Edwin, yung multifaceted.
You can feel his presence.
Ganun.
In our daily lives. Ayan.
Yeah. Okay. Yan. Kaya nga, finisher na siya dito sa programa natin kasi we'd like to give recognition to people like Mr. Hinolan, di ba? Giving developing technologies, di ba? Tapos exporting Filipino technologies, di ba? So we'd like to acknowledge
giving so much to the community and beyond.
And give recognition to his achievements, di ba, sa Filipino. Okay, maraming salamat Mr. Carlos Caloy Hinolan for your contributions to the ICT industry, to the music industry, and to the healthcare industry.
And for gracing in between for tonight's episode.
Yes, of course. Okay. Maraming po salamat sa lahat ng sumabay at sumama sa ating programa tonight. Huwag niyo po kalimutan na bisitahin ng aming social media properties sa Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And of course, yung mga sections and articles ni Mr. Edwin Salian sa Business Mirror and MNE. Okay, hanggang dito na lang po.
And of course, nakasamang si kasamang Jing Garcia na namimiss na natin.
Hindi, very few days na lang. Kakasama na natin siya.
Ayan, oo.
Baka mas maganda na yung boses niya. Baso, profundo voice na just like Mr. Hinolan. Okay, thank you very much and see you again next week for another episode of In Between. Thank you, good night, stay safe. Stay safe po mga kaibigan.